Kaizer Chiefs will play Sekhukhune United in what some people are calling the league decider. And I just call it another match as Kaizer Chiefs are trying to make it to the top 8 come end of the season. I don't want to put them under that much pressure because as we've said, the mandate for Nabi is to finish in the top 8 so that we can win that cup because we are tired of our noisy neighbors winning this thing. It's like every year now it's them, 4 years in a row. We need to stop that. But coming back to the game, how exactly will Nabi line up in this game? Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. I'm not even gonna retake that. I don't even know how I created you. In goal is going to be Brendan Peterson. By the way, I was having a thought to myself, even in the first take that you didn't see because I re-recorded. Who is going to play in cups? The League Cup is coming back in the next month. The CAF Confederations Cup is starting this Friday. So how are we going to decide when Tware is going to play? Because I think there were conversations about him staying at Chiefs and how they try to make him happy with him staying. Because I don't think it's fair to the other keepers to not play them at all, especially if you are second place. Yes, I know this is not charity and Brendan Peterson has done well. He started the season well. But also, if you have a big squad, you also try and make the personnel happy because once there are rumblings in the team, then you start seeing it in performances when players are given a chance. Because let's say Ntwari is not happy with the fact that he's not getting any game time, which I know would be unprofessional. And then eventually when he plays, he's not like happy about that, right? I'm played because he's injured. They're going to take me out when he comes back. So I wonder how Nabi is going to deal with that management aspect. But I'm going to ask you, do you think Ntwari should be made the cup keeper and play the League Cup and maybe the FA Cup? Or do you think whoever is performing should continue performing like Peterson? Right back, Tabeso Munyane. I'm not even going to discuss that because it's clear how he is going to perform. What I would be interested to see, though, is how they play him. Is he going to continue running inside that inside channel, the half space, the right half space? Or is he going to now overlap more and be on the outside? Because there is those underlapping runs, which is him just basically running, not being wide so that he can cross the ball, but running inside because he's very good at carrying the ball. I asked that because I know it. We've talked about that. We've analyzed him and the fact that he runs the half spaces really well. But are they not going to shake it up a bit to make it less predictable? Or will they keep their thing? Because if Lilepo is still staying wide on the right, then, there's still space for Miane to carry the ball into. So we will see how they approach the game with that. Which brings us to the left back and Upase Kamako, who, by the way, just came back and took the position from Bradley Cross, which I get because the technical team, Nabi, has said it multiple times that they see Bradley Cross as a left centre back and not a left back. But with Ushinga coming back and being ready and he's seeming like he lost weight and with his fitness, I will be interested to see because with Paseka Mako, just like Umunyane, on the right, it seems like he's more comfortable with not being wide but running inside the inside channel, the right half space. With Umako, when I watch him, he seems to be more comfortable with overlapping. Those traditional right backs, he runs outside, he overlaps, and then he can cross the ball into the box, which is good at. But with Ushinga, what I saw, well, let's start with Cross. What I saw with Cross is that he's comfortable with even becoming a second 10, right? Because they were not even pushing him to become a second 6, but they were pushing him up there to play in the half space, like closer to goal, and then he would just be there combining because he's very good with the first touch. Shinga as well, when he was played in the preseason, you saw him a lot inverting and not becoming a second 6, but becoming a second 10, pushing up that high up. And also he was very comfortable with also overlapping. So I wonder what they are going to do with the left backs all becoming available, because there is also a conversation of, give players a chance. But then if Marco is performing, do you really want to ruin something that is currently working well? That's a question for you that you'll answer me on the comments. Which brings us to Inacio Miguel, captain, my captain. Nothing much to say. And this is the one that maybe some people will question. Aiden McCarthy is fit and I think he will start. Why? For balance. Kunika has played very well, but just like with Marco is a natural left back, and that is why they are now, or they have been in the past 2 games anyway, playing him as a left back, even though Kroos had also started the season well. But since they see Marco much more suited in that position, since he's a natural left back, they play him there. I think it's the same thing with Aiden McCarthy. He's a natural left centre back, and they will want to play him there. Because as much as Ukunika has been good, but then you don't have balance because one is right-footed, the other is also right-footed. But now if you have Miguel right-footed and then you have McCarthy left-footed, then you have balance in how your centre-backs operate. And guys, this is very vital in how a player, when he's receiving the ball on his left foot and then he's carrying the ball forward, then when Kunika is receiving the ball here and then he has to turn. And we've seen this happening. I think it's just that it's been brilliant, Ikukunik. The ball comes to his side and then he has to turn. Oh, Miguel, who actually plays on the left centre-back side. But what you will see is that Miguel, a lot of times, will get the ball and then he turns in and then he plays the ball with his right foot. And if you are smart, if you are pressing that, you know that the team is going to play like that. They are not naturally opening their body up so that it's easy to play the ball to the left. Those small moments, even with the players, with my players, I know even the coaches professionally, watch how the players open their bodies. It would be either you're opening your body like this so that when you receive, you go, right? But if you are receiving from the left-hand side, that means you are receiving like this. There's a person behind you, which is your left back. Now you have to receive and try to turn and pass him the ball. But if you are left-footed, then your body is already open. You're just getting the ball, play it or turn. It's easy, So it's that natural and that small movement that you might think does not matter, but at a professional level, every second matters. So when we're talking about balance, we're talking about that. How natural is it going to be for your left center back to move the ball? How natural is it going to be for your right center back to move the ball? If they're marking from the left-hand side, the striker is coming this way and I want to show him the line, my left foot is still this side. So if he runs this side, right, I'm showing him the line. I can just throw my left foot in there. But if I'm right-footed, I'm standing here and you are coming, you are the right-footed attacker. If I turn, I'm showing you the line. Which one is my strong foot? It's my right foot. So if I do this, you are already gone. But if you are here, right, I do with the left foot. I don't even know the demonstration I'm making. But you get what I'm saying. If I'm showing you the line and I'm left-footed, I can mark you with this foot. But if I'm showing you down the line from this side and you are going this way, I have to mark with your right foot. And that's a split second that I'm talking about that makes all the difference. And if you're playing against Abo Makhalwa, who can target such things, then you might find yourself in trouble. So that's what I'm blabbering about when I'm talking about balance. Coach mode activated. Anyways, we move forward to the central midfielder. And I talked about this. I said that Ucele, basically, what Ucele is a midfielder who does not want to really go forward, right? Because he is very comfortable with building up from the back, helping progress the ball forward. But being there on the final third, right? Being there on the final third and now being the one who has to create the final ball or take a shot, it's not really his game. He seems more like one who's going to progress. And then even if you fail, you guys closer to the box, you can always rotate the ball back to him. And then he can start playing. But if he's the one who has to go up, that's not his game, really. So that is why, actually, when they play with Umthetho, what you will see most of the times is Umthetho being the one who pushes further up and is alongside and is attacking. I even showed you on the cutback. You guys didn't watch that video on the cutback of how Chiefs beat Arrows. I will pin it so that you can go watch it. You will see Umthetho making those runs and dragging defenders and being in the final third because they don't want Ele to push up and be in those positions. But the issue now is if you're also on those positions further up the pitch with Umthetho, he's not that comfortable. So his role then, Umthetho, up further up the field, is to kind of cause commotion, make movement that will drag people out of positions. But it's not always going to happen like that. You are sometimes going to need someone who can play the ball, someone who can bomb into the box. That is why even though Faisal Salome signed an extension that is 2 years, Farpost reported not Farpost, Unplayable, it's Farpost who reported that there is a 9 million release clause, right? So I am still hoping that we can sign someone like him because, for things like that when teams are playing a low block. I know that Sikukune will also try to come at us, so there is also that. But that's what I'm saying, Guti. We need to sort out the position definition of these two, Guti. What exactly is wanted from each one of them? Because the other problem that you have with Umteto going further up the pitch is the fact that what happens is, if they are transitioning the other team, you don't have him deeper, right? I am so sorry. Now he's no longer up there. Back there to break up play. So it's that thing that the coaches are looking at and thinking, how can we make this better? Speaking of people who can be better, Shabalala is going to start as a 10. I think that it can be better. I think as a 10, he plays like a winger sometimes. And what I mean by that is he's always in a rush. I want to see Shabalala keeping the ball with him more, carrying the ball more. I've seen him dribbling players, but then he wants to play that fast pass. But sometimes it's not on, and then he loses the ball. And that is why sometimes he's better suited coming off the bench, because when he's coming off the bench, the other team is tired. So rushing and trying to hit them as quickly as possible, it works in the second half because they are tired and they can't recover. But if you do that in the first half, they're just quick to recover. And then all your balls that you are trying to play, they are not as effective. But if you see Cyril when he comes on, he's in charge. Like, he goes in, he gets the ball, he drives with the ball. He will pass it, but sometimes it's selfish, but it's okay. You are a 10 sometimes. That's what we need to see. We need to see you being arrogant on the ball. We need to see you carrying the ball. Because if you look at the midfield, like if you look at one of the perfect midfields that you've ever seen, you look at the Barcelona one and the Real Madrid one. Of Barcelona, you had the ones who won the World Cup here in South Africa: Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta. Busquets sits, he plays the ball, he's a defensive midfielder. Xavi is like Busquets is just better with the short passing. And, the simple things, keeping things simple, but also you can turn. You can't press him. So he will be able to help the team keep the ball. If you look at Xavi, he had a very good range of passing, right? But he also can do simple things. But if you looked at Iniesta, then he was good at carrying the ball. So that's always an ideal midfield. You look at Madrid, their prime. That Casemiro, defensive midfielder. Now, his thing, simple things. He's not that great at finding fancy passes, but it was just there to break up play. You look at Modric, he can carry the ball. He has a good pass. You looked at Kroos, he can do what Xavi was doing for Barcelona, keeping the ball and having a good range of passing. So you need to have that kind of balance in midfield. One person keeping things simple, the other one having a good range of passing, the other one being able to carry the ball. Umtu cannot want to be the one making all the passes. He needs to carry the ball because in the areas where he gets the ball as well, that's where he can get fouled. And that's when we can now be attacking teams and get set pieces closer to their box. Because remember, there's offense, there's defense, there's transition, there's set pieces. Right now, our goals that we have scored them from attack. I've not seen us score a free kick. So we've scored a goal in transition in one of the games. We've scored a goal from attack. And from the defense, in terms of how we defend, the transition into attack will come from how we set up when we're defending and how do we transition then. But the set pieces, we're not winning enough free kicks because usually I'm a bowler. When you get the balls, we're moving them and we're losing them. I just want to be able to be a team that also scores from corners, be a team that is able to score from set pieces. Ungobo scored. Who won that free kick? Was it Was it Umtu or was it Utuba? I forgot who won us that free kick. But I need more of that. A player who's going to keep the ball and make the other teams think, hey, man, you can't let him play. And then they press us. This video is going to be long. Right winger is Claude Lilepo, but I prefer him on the left. But they play him on the right because they want him to stretch the pitch, allow Munyane to run on the half space. Left winger, and this is his time is running out of opportunities. Upule mode. I didn't even show you the pictures. Nango right winger, nango left winger. Because I think that he needs to start converting, man. He's a skilled dribbler. He's capable. So he should start doing it, because now what's going to happen when Kain Sama is ready? They're going to play Lilep on the left, play Kain Sama on the right, because they're not going to play Uma as a striker. I don't think so. I think they're still going to play with Duba, Silva, and Igodaro. You see, we have options up front and Dupree as well. So I think that Modi, his chance to be a starter, the window is closing. Because the other alternative that could happen is they could play Utuba as a left winger, because I think as a striker they will start to Flavio Silva, and I'm still worried about his fitness. For a person who had been training with the team for 3-4 weeks, how he looked against Amazulu was not a person whose fitness is on the right level. But it's been 10 days since the last game, I think. So he should be ready. I think that Chiefs can win this game. A simple 2-0 would suffice. But I really don't care. I just want momentum. I just want us to continue, even if we win the game 1-0. As long as we don't concede. 1-0, I'm fine. 1 goal. But I would love a 2-0, a 3-0. Like 1 goal first half, 1 goal second half. And then we're just fine. But what do you guys think? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Go check how Chiefs speed arrows. Go check that. And there's another video here from Cole in case you did watch the one how Chiefs speed arrows. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.